See, these guys don't get complaints. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. This guy. Look at him. Hey, just for clarity, you have a sign here that says no recording devices. Does that mean here too?
Yeah.
Right here too?
Yeah.
So right here, you have it. Is it outside too?
No.
Just right here? Use of cellular phone prohibited. Well, this is where all the action happens. Well, how come you get to record? So you can record me right here, but I can't record you right here? Dun 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 dun. I don't get that. We'll have to look into that policy.
I'm trying to look over your stuff for you. What were you asking now?
I was wondering if, how does your complaint process work?
The complaint gets taken by whoever signs it, and then it gets pushed up to the chief of police, and then he decides who looks into it.
And you are,
Sergeant Hannibal.
and you don't have a complaint officer?
Somebody that specifically handles just complaints? No.
Yeah. None?
No.
So there's no so you don't have, so I just come and put it right here? Like that? That's it?
You handed it to us, right? You're getting a copy of it? That's the process?
I don't know, I'm asking you. I was
Telling you, that's a process.
I was just doing a little story on how this works is all.
No, yeah, you're fine. And I'm telling you. Here you go. These are your copies. Like she said, it would be given to the chief.
Now,
What did you ask about the sign with the recording? Yeah, you're not supposed to be recording in here.
why?
Because our sign says you're not supposed to. It's our policy and rules.
And what happens if you record here?
I mean, we'll have to look into that.
So the only notice,
I just politely asked you not to do it, and you're just not doing it.
you're asking me to not record?
Correct.
So the only place this is up here is right in here. So I just discovered that, and now you're saying what?
Just listen. What more can I help you with right now?
Well, let's get to that. You keep interrupting.
Go ahead. About this complaint, what other questions do you have?
If part of the process of making this complaint would include the body camera, right? Would include the body camera?
What's that?
Would include the body camera?
Us reviewing it
Part of the complaint.
would be us reviewing. Yeah, you give us a complaint, we look into it entirely.
So part of this is securing the body-worn camera to be reviewed.
Correct.
This gets part of the review too. The body-worn camera gets reviewed, and then you guys make a finding or a...
Yeah, there'll be a finding.
How long does that take?
Like the other day when you came in here, the form you gave me was different than the one that you gave me back.
What form?
That personnel complaint form. The one you just gave me
Yeah. Today?
must have been an old one because this was recently updated. The other day when you came in, this is what I gave you right here. You gave me our old one. So everything you're asking me is explained right here.
Oh, okay. So you've updated your.
Yeah.
Is that you're telling me you've updated your complaint form?
Yeah, and I gave you 3 copies the other day.
Does that mean your old complaint forms are no longer valid?
I mean, they're we'll accept it.
You'll
but I'm
accept
just-
it?
What's that?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
We'll accept it because that's what you wrote it on. I don't want you to have to redo it, but the ones I gave you the other day, those are our new ones. So you can take this one too to look at it and make sure, but that explains to you the process more in detail, because our old one didn't exactly explain the process in detail to people.
So when you update your complaint forms, that means these ones are no longer valid.
That's not what I'm saying, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying we'll accept yours. I'm just saying you asked me the process.
Well, the issue here, it should be focused on the complaint, not
Exactly.
should be focused on the complaint.
You're asking me
Really?
about the complaint, so I'm answering your questions. But once you leave, I'll look into the complaint and how we handle it.
You do?
No, I said I'm the one that took it, and then I'll initially look at it, and if it involves me, then I give it to the chief. If not, I'll initially look into it and then give it to the chief.
Let me ask you something. If I was to say to you, let me get a supervisor, right? Officer Goglowski is not a sergeant, is he?
No.
So during this arrest, if I would have asked him, can I speak to a supervisor?
If one was available, you would have talked to one.
If one was available? If one was available.
At that time, yeah.
So he should have at least called in that somebody needed to speak to a supervisor, right?
I mean, I don't know what he said to you.
I know you don't, because it just, and I think it should become part of something you do talk about, because when an officer says, I don't know, something was up with that guy, Goglowski. He looked right at my shit. I had a knife clipped right here. He looked at my shit, and I looked at him, and I said, did you Officer Patras me? And he said, yes. And I was surprised. Because you know what else I had? I didn't write it in the report.
Yeah.
I have a gold handcuff key. One of my charms is a gold, but it works. And it's one of my medallions. And you know, when I was taking all my shit off later, I had a bunch of shit on me, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, a bunch of shit on me. And that dude lied. And I told him, I said, you're saying you did? And I know you don't like me. I know I appear to you to be a smart ass.
I never said I don't like you.
That's
your words.
Okay, I'm sorry for saying, you're right about that. But I know when somebody means to do. I don't know what it is about Goglowski, man, but he was sent, and then he said I made threats. He said I threatened him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Now let me ask you something. When you make an arrest and somebody comes in here, you guys keep your sidearms on?
We do. Our policy is that we do until the point where you're fingerprinted. If you're ever fingerprinted.
So up until the fingerprint point, that's when you disarm?
That's where, yeah. If we're in that room over there fingerprinting you, that's when. If they're in that room, that's what we do.
Oh wow, wow. That's where it probably would have happened then, huh?
What would happen?
He would have noticed the knife.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there yet. I don't.
I know it's some scary shit, man.
It is, yeah.
It is, bro. What happens when you bring somebody in here all got knives on them, all hostile? Then you uncuff them.
That'd be a dangerous situation. It could be.
And then they're supposed to have frisked them, called the officer safety pat frisk.
Yeah.
And then, so that's when
Yeah, the only time it would be a problem is if something. Yeah, the officer had to explain why somebody got hurt.
But is there a separate room where they actually pull their firearm out? Is there an actual room?
I mean, we don't have a thing where it says you got to go to a room and do that.
Where's your lockbox?
We have it right over here. We secure it in here.
So he would go to where the lockbox is to secure his firearm.
Normally, yes, yeah.
So if somebody would have came in who should have been cleared, who had knives and clipped on them,
Yeah.
and the officer uncuffs him and he goes to disarm to do the pat frisk, and then he comes back with the key to the locker and to all your other shit you got locked up, Don't you think that would be a concern to you?
Yeah, it would be.
Good, because I think it is something you should want to talk about.
I mean, if that's the case, then yeah, we'll look into it. Yeah.
If that's the case, you're not aware of it?
I mean, no. Yeah, you're just telling me.
So this is the first time you became aware of this?
Aware of what?
Wow. You have a very... So you just lost concentration of what we were just talking about?
Wait, no. You need to tell me what you're talking about, and then I could tell you.
I just did.
You said this is the first time I'm aware of it. Aware of what?
You just lost train of thought. Aware of what?
Listen, Ken, if you have something... You
Is this... You're not going to wiggle your way out of this. We were just talking about something very, very important, and this is how you're going to act? It's not a concern to you, is it?
It is a concern to me. If
I can't
you're
tell.
You're telling me what the problem is. You're telling me that this happened with the officer? If you're just telling me right now, what? What are you eyeing me up for?
Excuse me?
Why are you eyeing me up and down?
Go ahead, but aren't you a sergeant?
Yes.
Where's your bars and rockers?
I don't have them on me.
Where's your name tag?
I don't have it on me.
You're out of uniform. Well, anyways, you can proceed. I answered your question. Go ahead. Proceed.
You can proceed with yours. I have no more questions.
You were in mid...
You come in here all the time.
Is this
you ask
how...
questions, and then you talk about a million different things in between time, and you get back to the question. You circle the wagons, and then you want me to ask something, and then you tell me that I'm trying to...
Not at all.
Yes, you just did. You just did. What more can I help you with today?
I just wanted to... I was just interested in...
This is the complaint. It's going to be handled appropriately. You can count on that.
How long does it take for a complaint to be taken care of?
I don't think we really have a set time.
Is it a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months?
Yeah, but based on... I didn't even look at it yet, to tell you the truth. I just said I received it.
I'm really just surprised that you didn't hear about this. You're saying it's the first time you heard that your officer Gaglowski 3-4 times said he pat frisked me and that...
Yeah, this is the first time.
Put me in the backseat of his cruiser in handcuffs, saying he did, and he didn't.
That's and if that's right, we'll handle that. But like I said, yeah, I did not know about it.
That's terrible, man. You should be, and this is exactly why I'm gonna make a video about it, because you guys don't talk about this important shit. Meanwhile, some other shit goes down, and it all could have been prevented, all of it. Isn't that the bottom line here? The stupid shit should be prevented. Sure, it's it.
I mean,
you just don't seem very motivated about public concern here or about officer safety.
You say open-ended statements. Like that,
open-ended statements?
That can mean a lot of things.
You don't seem very motivated to get involved.
What do you want me to do? What makes you? What do I need to do?
Look at you, man. Look at you. Just get involved. Get motivated. Your officer just created a very, very dangerous environment situation.
I mean, are you saying that you would have used weapons on them? I'm confused. I don't know what you're saying.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Remember
how I apologized for putting words in your mouth? Remember how I apologized for putting words in your mouth?
I didn't put words in your mouth. I'm asking you a question.
You just said...
I said, would you have used the weapons on him? That's my question. Why would that be... if it's only dangerous if somebody doesn't find a weapon on somebody, if that weapon gets used against people, correct?
You know, that's the way it should be, but I'll tell you how... Since you asked, let me answer that question, sir. I think your officer did see it, and I think he meant to do me harm.
Well, let me look at
Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. Don't cut me off. Let me finish. Your officer seen it, and I looked him in his eyes, and I asked him several times in his face, "You officer safety pat frisked me?" Looking him deep in the pupils of his eyes, and he said,